Hello, this is Jim Houtling. This is the beginning of the third video on my journey to get my pergola built in my backyard. I started this process in April, and today it's September 25th on a Saturday. And I'm in a war, slight war. I don't know how deep I am yet, but I am in a war with the pergola builder who abandoned my project, and that pergola builder is Supreme Aluminum, Florida. So, what I'm about to do is kind of walk through where I am in the process of trying to get help, and this could be used for many homeowners. This video can be used for many homeowners to understand what are your options when you have this problem happen to you. I am truly a victim, I believe, and I want to make the world aware of what can happen when you think you've hired a quality pergola contractor. So far, when dealing with Supreme Aluminum Florida, I've had nothing but intimidation and threats, and that I should stop trying to come after them, to report them, and I don't think that's right. And what I've done so far is that I've given a formal complaint to the Florida Licensing and Regulations Agency that manages licenses for contractors in Florida. This contractor, Supreme Aluminum, has a Florida license, not a Miami-Dade license. So I went there, did a total formal complaint on them with all the documentation, pictures, whatever. And it's been about 2 weeks. I haven't heard from them, but you know, government moves slow. Second, I reported Supreme Aluminum to the Better Business Bureau. And I stated my case there completely in writing of where I'm at. And it's there for viewing by the public eventually when the Better Business Bureau deems it appropriate to put it up on the website. Third, I've been in multiple contacts with the Miami-Dade Inspection Department, and I've asked them questions around what is the building code for foundations on a pergola. What is the code exactly? What is your opinion on the pictures that I've shown you as to whether this foundation for all 6 columns is within code? And I've had problems with them answering those questions directly. They seem to be, is the word they use, they seem to be within code. And I have issues with that. My background is mechanical engineering, and I've worked on structures most of my life in design and manufacturing, and I believe there are issues here. And it's not so much about passing code as it is about reliability after the pergola is finished and the years roll on, and you have an issue with constant threats from hurricanes that are going to buffet this independently freestanding pergola. So I am very astute at understanding whether I think the foundations are safe and whether they're reliable and will last for years without cracking. And I'm saying right now to Miami-Dade inspectors, these are not reliable. They're far beyond what the engineer, the professional engineer who did the drawings, did the calculations. The foundations and the columns do not match the drawings. The foundations, the holes, are 8 inches out of location. 3 of the pillars around here, on the opposite side, there's 6. Those 3 are supposed to be on 10-foot centers to the other 3, and they're actually short by 4 inches, and they're at 9 feet 8 inches. And what that problem is how does that affect the roof being attached to those columns now? Because the roof is a kit with expectations that the poles, the columns are on 10-foot centers, and they are not. So I brought that issue up with Supreme Aluminum, And that was like the final straw, that I was getting way too deep into the project, and they know what they're doing. And since I'm a problem customer, they decided they were going to abandon the project, and that's where I sit today. So I am now having, after continual talks with Miami-Dade Inspection, I have a supervisor of Miami-Dade inspectors coming to my house on Tuesday. Today is Saturday, September 25th, and he will be here on Tuesday, and I will go through all of this, and I want something in writing from Miami-Dade as pertains to their opinion on whether these columns are and foundations are within Florida code. Because if they are, then I have an issue with Miami-Dade on another issue. That is, I had no Supreme Aluminum, let's say, project manager or owner come to this site. There was nobody supervising the crews here. And the crews they're hole diggers. That's what their job is, to dig the holes and preliminarily set the columns where they need to be. But absolutely nobody inspected from authority, neither Miami-Dade nor Supreme Aluminum Management and Project Manager ever came to look to make sure the columns and the holes were in the right place to a drawing created by a professional engineer. Now I have a foundation and layout that does not comply to what has been drawn up, but I'm still being told that Supreme Aluminum has so far met acceptable criteria for meeting building code. I don't believe it. If it is, then somebody's doing wrong, and I know then, and I'm going to have this discussion with the Miami-Dade supervisor, is if this is how you protect the customer by inspecting projects being built on their properties, then you're at fault also. I'm going to tell them straight up, you're at fault. You're at fault because you did not require an inspection by dimensions that the holes and the columns match the engineer's drawing before the concrete was poured, because now we have concrete involved and we're locked in. That is the critical point in the whole process of building this structure, is the concrete being poured and the columns being in the proper location for the roof to go on. And they missed the boat completely. So that's where I am right now, and I'll keep you informed. I do have another thing to bring up, and the information will be in the write-up at the bottom of the YouTube video, is that the owner of Supreme Aluminum Florida is wearing a court-ordered ankle monitor with GPS. Why is that? Because he participated in the riot on January 6th at the Capitol. And he was a leader. He did not stay in the background. He took videos. They've been posted by him, and now the FBI is using that against him and charging him with participating in the riot. I will attach the proof to this with a link to the Washington Post, which is a newspaper in Washington, D.C., and their article on Gabriel Garcia, who is the owner of Supreme Aluminum Florida. So you basically got to make a decision going forward. Do you want to deal with a company like this? I don't think so, but you take the risk. I walked right into it. These people had a 5-star rating on Google, but that's not what I see when I look at my foundation and their refusal to do anything to work with me. Nothing. They just said, we're walking away. And oh, by the way, you still owe us $1,600. One is for the restocking charge back to the roof kit company, and the other is for finished payment of the foundations. And as you can see, they left it a total wreck. That's what they did. They left it a total wreck all the way around. Everything. The holes are not finished. Not at all. So that's where I'm at right now. So stay tuned. I will keep adding these videos because, homeowners have got to learn to fight, because if you don't, the system will run over you and you will be left with a mess. The whole issue is here. Even if it is to code, it is not reliable long-term in life. And guess who's responsible when the foundation fails and cracks? Salty water gets down inside those columns and starts disintegrating the concrete and the rebar. And one day, when you want to sell your house, they're going to say, well, you've got to tear all that out because it's not safe anymore. And the whole purpose was putting this up is to add value to my home. And I know if the foundations are cracked, they're going to say you either fix it or tear it out, but we're not buying the home until it's removed, because we don't believe it's reliable for the future, with the hurricanes getting worse and worse. So that's where I am today. I am totally frustrated, and I will keep pushing this issue. So I'm waiting for this inspector. I think this is going to end up in litigation, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. But I think Miami-Dade Inspection Department has something wrong if their process of inspection does not include inspecting the location of the foundation and the columns in respect to the engineering drawing. Okay, so I'm sorry I'm ranting, but I'm very frustrated. I'm into we're 5 months now, and we've got $4,400 invested, and I've got a new builder coming next week. They're going to start fixing the holes, and they've ordered a kit. It's going to take another 4 to 8 weeks because of the backup on pergola kits for the roofs. And now, by that time that's done, I'm going to be 7-8 months into this project and not having a pergola. So stay tuned. I'll be back.